Hi, welcome to Bits and Proofs. Today's a foundations lesson, writing better prompts cheaper and sharper. We will look at prompt engineering from an engineering point of view, where a good prompt saves you money and gets you a better answer at the same time. Let's start with the one idea that ties this whole video together. A language model does not remember anything on its own. Every turn, the whole prompt is sent to it again from the start. And in an agent loop, that same prompt is resent on turn after turn after turn. So a wasteful prompt is not something you pay for once. You pay for it every single turn. Let's call that the reread tax. Let's put a real number on that tax. Say you have a 2000 token preamble and it runs inside a 20-turn agent. That is 40,000 input tokens just for the preamble before the agent does a single useful thing. Now trim that preamble down to 500 tokens. The same loop now costs 10,000. Same work, a quarter of the bill, just from a tighter prompt. And here is the good part. Trimming your prompt gives you two things at once. The first is cheaper. Fewer tokens going in means a smaller bill on every turn and more room before you hit the context limit. The second is sharper. A tight prompt, clear and to the point, gets a better answer than one buried in filler. So here is the good news. The same habits that make a prompt cheaper also make it sharper. You do not have to trade one for the other. Let's go through 7 of them. Lesson 1, lead with the task, not the backstory. A model weights the opening of your prompt heavily, so put the job first, not a long introduction. Look at the first version. It spends 3 lines on credentials and filler before it even says what it wants. Now the second version, review this function for bugs. Then list each issue with a 1-line fix. The task is right there in the first word. The second version is shorter, it is clear, and the model knows the goal from word 1. Lesson 2, be specific about the output shape. If you do not tell the model what the answer should look like, it will guess. And when its guess is wrong, you reprompt, which costs you another whole round trip. So spell it out. Return a JSON object with these exact fields. Give the constraints. Format, length, and constraints, all stated up front. Ambiguity is exactly what drives that expensive reprompt loop, so close it down before the model ever runs. Lesson 3, show, do not describe. When you have a tricky task with lots of edge cases, the tempting thing is to write a paragraph of rules. If the date is missing, use null. If it is a range, take the start, and so on. That prose gets long, and the model still has to interpret it. Instead, just show a few examples. Here is an input, here is the output you want. The model copies the pattern directly. A few worked examples often cost fewer tokens than the prose would, and the model follows the pattern far more reliably. This is what people mean by few-shot prompting. Lesson 4, do not resend what the model already knows. The model already knows the programming language, the popular framework, the common library. So restating all of that or dumping whole files it does not need just adds noise. And remember the tax, you repay for that noise on every turn. Keep only what matters. The specific part of the problem that only you can give it. Trim the rest. Lesson 5, and this one is a direct way to cut your cost. Put the parts that never change first, your system rules, your tool definitions, your examples. And then put the part that does change, the user's actual input, last. Why does the order matter? Because prompt caching bills that fixed prefix at a fraction of the price on later calls. Keep the stable part stable and at the front, and you stop paying full price for it over and over. Lesson 6, match the reasoning budget to the difficulty. For a simple task like classifying, extracting, or reformatting, just ask for the answer directly. There is no need to make it think out loud. For a hard task like planning or multi-step logic, let it think step by step, because that thinking is worth it. The point is, thinking step by step costs output tokens. So spend those tokens where the task actually needs them and skip them where it does not. Lesson 7, and maybe the most important one, iterate on the prompt, not the output. It is tempting to just hand edit the answer when it comes out wrong. But the same mistake comes right back on the next run and the run after that. You are paying that fix over and over. Instead, fold the fix into the prompt itself once. Then every future run gets it right for free. That is the whole mindset. A good prompt is a fixed cost. You pay it once. Manual fixes are a recurring cost you pay again and again. Let's put all 7 lessons together on one real task. You run a small shop and you want to turn each customer email into structured data, the order number, the item, and the problem returned as JSON. Here is the email. Hasani ordered a blue ceramic mug, order number 5821, and the handle arrived cracked. We need those 3 fields pulled out of it. Here is the bloated way to ask. Paragraphs of backstory, a reminder that the model is good at reading, and a polite closing. The actual task is buried somewhere in the middle. Look at what is wrong. Backstory and padding the model never needs. It re-explains what an AI can do. The task is hard to find. And it never says what the output should look like, so you will get a chatty paragraph your system cannot parse. Here is the tight version. The task comes first. The output shape is pinned down. Return only JSON with these 3 fields. One short example shows the pattern instead of describing it. And all the padding is gone. Now the answer comes back clean and parsable. Order 5821, blue ceramic mug, handle cracked on arrival. Every single time. Same task, a fraction of the tokens, and a reliable result. Cheaper and sharper, straight from the 7 habits we just covered. Here is a second task to show the same habits work anywhere. Turn a long status update into 1 line for a busy manager. The vague version just says, summarize this, make it short and good. The model has to guess how short and what good even means. The specific version pins it down. 1 sentence, 20 words maximum, plain language, no jargon. No JSON this time, but the same steps. Task first, the shape pinned down, and not a word of padding. So let's bring it all together. Here are the 7 at a glance. 1. Lead with the task, not the backstory. 2. Specify the output shape. 3. Show examples instead of describing rules. 4. Do not resend what the model already knows. 5. Stable context first, variable input last. 6. Match the reasoning budget to the difficulty. And 7. Iterate on the prompt, not the output. If you forget everything else, keep this one idea. Every token in your prompt is reread on every turn. So efficiency is dropping every token that doesn't improve the answer. Keep only what helps, and your prompts get cheaper and sharper at the same time. That is the core idea. And one last thought. Consciously learn from every prompt you write. That is how you get better at this every single time. Thanks for watching. If this helped, do subscribe. More AI engineering content is coming soon. And while you are here, check out the other AI engineering videos already on the channel. See you in the next one.